Oh my god, bro. Did you see the new free PS Plus game this month? Another brand new PS5 game, exclusive. Boom, boom, boom. They're just killing it right now. Oh my god, bro. God of War 2? Finally? Already? Are you kidding me? What? No. God of War isn't coming out until, let's be real, probably like 2023. Bro, I'm talking about that new Destruction Derby looking game. You drive around cars. Reminds me of Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal, back in the days, driving around with all these crazy people blowing each other to smithereens. God. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Wait, you do know Twisted Metal, right? Of course. How could I forget Twisted Metal Solid? Twisted Metal Solid. Excuse me, what? Huh? You just said Twisted Metal Solid. What is Twisted Metal Solid? Yes. Twisted Metal Gears. Because, like, the cars driving and gears and twisted metal gear solid. This man really about to die. What is up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm not wearing any pants right now. Fun fact. Yeah, the PlayStation 5 has been out for a couple months now, and quite honestly, it's had some pretty great games launched with it. Already, I think it's had the best lineup of its predecessors yet, quite honestly, especially with Demon's Souls and Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. You guys have heard it 1,000 times now, I'm sure. But its newest exclusive game is the February PlayStation Plus free game for PlayStation 5. And I was really excited for this game initially because it reminded me a lot of Twisted Metal, dare I say it. And if you're anything like me, you love Twisted Metal and blowing shit up. I also love the darkness of Twisted Metal. That's not quite in this. It's kind of its car derby typical thing with its own little twist. So, I mean, is it good? Who knows? But I think you guys deserve to know. And if you have not been lucky enough to get your hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
On a PlayStation 5. First off, let me know what your status is currently in the comments below. But also, this is a quick tip time. You can actually get this game still for free. Yes, you with a PS4. You sad soul. All you have to do is open up the PlayStation Store app, right? Log in. Go to the PlayStation Plus games, search for this game and maybe Control or whatever it is that you're trying to get, whatever the free game is, and you should be able to add it to your library, and that should save it and bank it into your stuff so you have it. Good, you're welcome. Free game for you, free game for all of us. Hooray. If it doesn't work, let me know. I'm sorry, it worked with my cousin, so maybe he's just a fucking liar. Anyway, yes, so without further ado, this is my rating review of PlayStation's newest exclusive. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please give it a like. It gives me so much just less self-loathing. Bye-bye. Enjoy. Alright, so first off, I'm going to start off with some pros, some things that I liked about the game. First thing you're going to notice straight out the gate with Destruction Allstars is that it has a bunch of crazy looking characters, drivers, heroes, whatever you want to call them, whatever the kids are calling these kind of characters these days. I'm just gonna go with heroes. So there's like 14, I think, or 16 different heroes in the game, different drivers, and they're all super diverse and interesting, and they look pretty cool, honestly, and they definitely had my interest, especially when I first saw the game. That seems to be really the biggest focus of the entire thing, which is a move that we've seen in the past, clearly with Twisted Metal, which is one of the best car destruction games literally of all time. Please bring back Twisted Metal. God, I miss it so much. Anyway, this game obviously has a very different appeal and not quite as dark as Twisted Metal, but nonetheless, I really like some of these characters and they all look very interesting. Now, you might ask, what is the appeal of these characters? So each of them have different abilities. So you have one on-foot ability, called a breaker, and then you have a special vehicle like a hero car, which all look different. They kind of all come in different shapes and sizes. They all feel a little bit different, handle differently, and they each have a different ultimate ability, which is pretty cool. Some of them charge, some of them you just get instantly. Overall, you get a good amount of uses out of some of them, and they are pretty fun and interesting to use. I would argue it is the most appealing aspect of the gameplay, and definitely the funnest. Moving on, you also have, as I mentioned before, a breaker whilst you're on foot. Now, this is also a special ability, but this is where I have a little bit of problems with the gameplay. Now, some of these breakers are pretty fun and interesting to use, but some of them just feel like they should be passive abilities, which none of these heroes have passive abilities. This is kind of a problem that I have with this. I don't know why these characters don't have more. I wish that they did. I feel like 2 abilities isn't quite enough, although I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. Overall, though, the gameplay is really fun, really engaging, especially when it works as intended, and it can be really satisfying to just obliterate the hell out of your opponent. If you've ever played a kind of destruction-based derby style game like this, or like Twisted Metal, the whole appeal is blowing the shit out of everything around you, and that is completely what this game does very well. It is very fun, although if you do have any kind of ping or lag, it can completely ruin the experience, but I guess that's true for pretty much any game, quite honestly. The gameplay is just fast-paced. It's fun. It's fun to run people over.
Man, that never gets old.
It's fun to blow them up. There are 4 different game modes, 2 of which are team-based game modes, and the other 2 are solo-based game modes. Now, the first one is called Mayhem, and basically the whole entire point of Mayhem is to just blow the shit out of everything.
Hey, phrasing!
Just blow it all up. Cause as much death and destruction as you possibly can, which sometimes can be a little confusing in the beginning because you do get points when you are on foot for doing different things. Although I wish that this aspect was a little bit more rewarded, it's still good to see that you can still cause trouble on foot. One of my favorite things to do in this game, honestly, whilst on foot, is to hijack other vehicles. So you can jump onto other vehicles, including when they drive at you, you can dodge over them, hop on, take it over, or you can just wreck the vehicle as well, which can be really satisfying at times, especially in different game modes. So Mayhem is just to cause as much destruction as possible, get points. If you have the most points at the end of the round, then obviously you win. The next solo game mode is called Gridfall, and this is just basically Fall Guys. I mean, the map slowly falls out from under you, and you just have to survive. You just have to be the last one standing without falling off. If you fall off, you just get KO'd instantly. This mode is pretty fun, although I realized it can get a little stagnant sometimes just because of how players play. Also, I wish the ground fell out a little bit faster, but overall, pretty fun game mode. Next up is my favorite game mode. This is one of the team-based game modes. It's called Carnado, where you just have to wreck other opponents, gather gears, or points, basically, for causing destruction. Then you bank it into your car. So if your car is destroyed, then you lose your points. But if you manage to drive your car into the big-ass tornado in the middle, that's how you can kind of bank your points and earn points for your team. This is where the whole hijacking of vehicles comes really into play really well. I think this is the best game mode, and it is actually a really good time, especially since you can play it with your friends. The last one is called Stockpile. This is also a team-based one. This one was a little bit less clear on the instructions, so it can be a little confusing at first, which I found can just be the case in general with this game at times. But ultimately, you need to bank gear points just like you do in Carnado, except then you need to take them to one of 3 pillars that your team might be controlling, and it's basically like controlling the point A, B, and C objective-based game mode, which is pretty fun overall. Now, next up, I just want to talk about the vehicles really quickly. So, when you start a match, you just get into a normal vehicle. You do not start with a hero vehicle, and I found this to be kind of refreshing. There are 3 different style vehicles, basically, with multiple, I think there are 3 different kinds per style, whether it be heavy or small and maneuverable. And all of these vehicles are pretty fun to drive. The game does an excellent job of taking use of the adaptive triggers, so when your car gets beat up, you do feel some resistance, and you feel the pull and the drag of the vehicle if you have popped tires or a bumper that's about to fall off, anything like that. So overall, mechanically, it is quite fun, and I do like all the different vehicles. As I mentioned before, you do have a hero vehicle as well, which is, like I said, the biggest appeal of the game, and is very rewarding to own people with your special ability or just ram them. Now that I've talked about some things that I really like about the game, I want to shift gears to some of the cons. So the biggest thing just straight away is the store. Yeah, and you knew this was coming. You knew this was it. There is a in-game currency, which is good. Always like to see that you can earn and then you can unlock things with. But then there is also a currency called Destruction Points, which is just a real currency. They just give it the fancy name. So the biggest appeal of these Destruction Points is to basically unlock an entire section of the game that is locked behind this paywall, which really frustrates me because I think it's probably the most appealing aspect of the game, and that is the challenge series. And what this challenge series is basically each driver, each hero has a rival, and this challenge series kind of tells you the story between the two rivals as you play as one of them, and you have to play through several different game modes, ultimately leading to a showdown, like a final round. It is basically the game's single player mode, but it's locked behind a paywall. So that's pretty frustrating. Additionally, you don't have access to all of them, so if you do have a favorite hero you want to play their challenge series, you can't. You're gonna have to wait for a certain timer to count down and then hope that your driver challenge series becomes available, and then you have to buy it on top of that. Pretty frustrating overall. I think they definitely need to change this. I know that they're talking about making challenges later down the road where you can earn destruction points, so I think that's a massive quality of life change that they need. I think that they don't have it right now because they need to make money, because it's a free PlayStation Plus game, so I guess I understand the financial motive, although it hurts the game overall. Next up is the cosmetics. The reason why I'm putting cosmetics in a con section for me is because, well, it's basically the entire reason for playing the game, and it's pretty lackluster. All the skins are just palette swaps, which, you know, I like. I like being able to customize my character, my hero, my driver, and it's pretty cool. Although the coolest ones are also locked behind the destruction points, which is a shame. I really wish that there were some challenge-based unlocks. I really like that. I also really would like to see some skins that are just completely new and stylized differently. Even if they just made less heroes to begin with and then just focused more on making the rewards just better. I think that would have been really healthy for the game. So that's unfortunate. Although they can always update it and bring some cool things later, which I hope they do. They also have emotes, which is kind of the most pointless part for me because you're going to be doing them on the ground. And the fast-paced nature of the game doesn't really facilitate you just emoting like a dumbass in the middle of the road and getting run over and just becoming roadkill. So nobody's going to see these, so I don't really understand the point of them too much. But they're there just seemingly for you to spend your money on. There are also vehicle emotes. Now, I do like these because you emote at the top of your vehicle, which is very cool. I think it's a good idea. But the bad thing is there's only 2 per hero. So I think that that's a really big fault for them. And the only other one that you can unlock is locked behind destruction points, unfortunately, again. Finally, there are shouts. These are just basic voice lines and victory poses, which I guess are nice. But other than that, that's basically what it comes down to for the unlocks. So overall, a little disappointing since that's the entire appeal of winning. Which brings me to my next complaint, winning.
You came in, you said, if you ain't first, you're last.
Oh, hell, Ricky, I was high when I said that.
Winning is incredibly lackluster in this game. They just show you up on the screen. You might do a little dance, a little shim, and that's it. That's all. You just get bonus XP. There's no reward currency like, for example, Fall Guys with the crowns or anything like that. It would be nice if they gave us destruction points for winning. I think that's totally fine. I think that would actually help a lot. Other than that, there's no other reward for winning. And I think that they really need to add some cool cinematics or something. Maybe a final blow, biggest blow
Phrasing.
in the game or something just to spice up the final win screen. Because as of yet, it is incredibly lackluster, and I think that they really missed an opportunity to create something cool at the end of every match. I suppose overall my biggest complaint is that I'm starting to notice more areas that can be improved than areas that I just truly do really like, which is a shame, since it doesn't seem like they're very difficult improvements to make, quite honestly, like a cooler victory screen or just better rewards and maybe different, more interesting skins and things like that. But overall, the game does do its job of just being a fun sandboxy destruction derby style game. I did immediately find myself gravitating towards certain heroes and drivers and really being interested in their personalities, and I want to know more, and I think that anybody who plays this game would say the same thing. So I think the challenge series are a point that they really need to look at and consider making more easily accessible, because I think it's a pretty important part that they completely screw everybody over by locking it behind a stupid paywall. Now, just basically to wrap up my thoughts, I think that the game definitely does what it's intended to do. And it is fast-paced and fun and crazy and explosions, and it is very fun to play with your friends as well, although you can only play the 2 team-based modes if you do decide to team up with a partner and play some matches, which can be fun, but it does feel pretty limited at times, quite honestly. Overall, though, I like the abilities, I like the vehicles, even if it does feel lackluster at times. I really think that in its current state, Destruction Allstars will not last very long, being that multiplayer games need a bigger appeal if they want to last any time at all, really. I mean, look at Fall Guys, how much that has fallen off. Basically, overall, though, I do like the game. If you're lucky enough to have a PlayStation 5, and if you do have PS Plus, it's without a doubt worth picking up because it's free right now and playing. So without further ado, I do give Destruction Allstars a 7 out of 10. Alright guys, so there it is, my 2 cents on Destruction Allstars. Just let me know if you agree or what you think, if you've been able to actually play the game. Obviously, I know a lot of you can't right now. And I really wish you guys all the best in your PlayStation 5 journey endeavors, trying to get one if you haven't already gotten one. But yeah, if you already have, let me know what you think of Destruction Allstars in the comments below, and what you would think about Twisted Metal making a return as well. Yes, also too, if you have not yet subscribed, definitely hit the subscription button. Also hit a like if you enjoyed the video, it helps me out tremendously, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.